Greetings internet, welcome back to another video on my channel. I hope you guys are having a nice day wherever you are. I want this video to be very calming, very relaxing, very just chatty, like two friends grabbing coffee, catching up, that sort of thing, because this is a true catch-up video. I have a lot of things to talk about with you guys. First of all, the status of the apartment hunt, moving in with Jack, all of the big life things that have been happening recently that I feel like I have tried to talk to at length or speak to at length, but I also don't really know what you guys want to hear or what is kind of annoying or like too much TMI, like all of that. So I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions and I'm just gonna answer them today. Like a good even spread of things. I'm also gonna be talking about freelance, like my design work, the status with that, Found Objects podcast, what's happening with that, a true old-fashioned catch-up, and I'm excited about it. I have a bunch of questions to answer. I think I may actually put my laptop on the ground. I'm trying to think. I'm filming with my phone because I've had quite literally every tech issue under the sun trying to make this video. I don't know what, the universe has been trying to prevent me from posting this video for some reason. I don't know what I talk about in this video that someone doesn't like, but we're gonna do it. We persist, we continue on. So I'm gonna start with probably the most pressing question. Well, first of all, my sweater is from Madewell. If you guys are curious where my sweater is from, I'm obsessed with it. But the most pressing question, not where my sweater is from, did we find an apartment? And the answer is yes. So a specific question that I got in my questions box on Instagram was, Bach, oh my God, questions Bach, if you know, you know. I just have Wicked on the brain for some reason. Did you guys find an apartment? How many apartments did you end up touring? I believe we toured 10 apartments, maybe 11, in that range of apartments. I had said that we were gonna tour probably 15, knowing myself and knowing how crappy the market was. And that's not even me being picky. I think that's just genuinely how it is here in the city in January and February. I feel like it's like the worst time to find an apartment because of the lease cycles and how most people, I'd say, move in the spring or the summer, not necessarily winter. So it was tricky. We ended up touring 10 apartments. I didn't post all of them, as you guys have probably gathered. I've posted, I think, like 6 apartment tours. I didn't post all of them because a bunch of the tours that we went on or the places that we toured had people's stuff still in it, like they still currently live there. And I just felt kind of weird about posting like someone's couch, or like someone's like personal photographs, or like, not that I would like zoom in on like people's things, but it just like felt kind of invasive. And I think it's also like not legal. So I didn't post every single tour, but ultimately we did choose an apartment. We toured it after we had toured the ones that were in last week's video. And to be honest with you, I'd seen the listing on StreetEasy and I didn't love it at first. Like I saw the listing and I wasn't sold on it. There were certain aspects of it that I was like, I don't think we would like that. And ultimately it ended up being my friend Adam who pushed me to go see it, or pushed us to go see it. He swayed me and then I was like, all right, Jack, let's go look at it. He sent me the listing and was like, have you seen this one? I was like, yeah, I saw that one. I don't know. And he was like, you should go look at it. I think it's very you. Sometimes it takes like another person that knows you very well stepping in to tell you like what you should do. Sometimes I feel like it's funny. Anyway, Adam was like, Katie, go see it. So we went and saw it. We walked in the door and I was like, yep, this will do. And then as we went from room to room, I was like, yep, this will do, this will do, this will do. Okay, obsessed. We then were like, should we go grab a coffee? Like we'd already had like 2 coffees. I was like, we need to go sit and have a coffee. We need to debrief. We need to like sit down immediately and like talk about this because I was that excited about it, that like fired up. And I hadn't felt that way about any other apartment that we'd seen. So I was like, okay, this is probably a good sign. So we went and sat at Kerber Farm, this coffee shop in the West Village. We got our coffees. And for some reason we were like not talking about the apartment because I think both of us were like so in shock that we'd found something so great. And then I was like, so should we do it? And he's like, well, I don't see why not. But we also had the conversation of, okay, well, would we find something better if we kept looking, which is, of course, no apartment's going to be perfect. So you're going to have that thought. But I'm like, you know what? No, because the aspects of this apartment that might be like questionable, I feel like is just a project. Like it's a project, or it will be a project. It will take us getting creative. And I'll obviously explain more when I show you guys the tour of the apartment. but it's an exciting challenge. And so we were talking about it and both of us decided, we were like, yeah, we need to do it. And so we got things going, and luckily we were the first in line to put in an application, and it was so like just perfect timing, and we signed a lease. Jack and I signed our first lease together. It is crazy how things happen. Like I did not think it would happen so quickly. I was actually losing a lot of hope, but it happened. So yes, we found an apartment. We're going to get the keys on Friday, and then I will show you guys, because I don't have content to share with you guys, but it'll be empty and I'll be able to film it on Friday. So very soon, hopefully next vlog, I'll show you guys, and you guys are gonna love it. It's a good mix of modern and charming, like the perfect mix. There's no fun staircase in the next apartment, but we do have some like charming features, which I won't get too much into, and a very big kitchen, which I'm very excited about for all my cooking content. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully next video I'll have a full tour for you guys. Okay, question number 2. Are you nervous / excited about moving in with Jack? How did the moving in conversation come up? I promise there's not too many questions about my relationship. Like, I will just tell you that up front. There's a bunch of other questions in this, but so technically we do live together already. We moved in together January 1st, technically. So it's been like 2 months, I guess, of like technically us living together, like combined, like sharing a rent and like all of that, like sharing a space, like fully, like he doesn't have his other apartment anymore. It's happened. I guess I should have answered this before we moved in together, but it has been really great. Like honestly, the adjustment wasn't as bad as I thought. Like I don't want to say I was like expecting something bad, but like my personality, if you guys, I feel like a lot of you do know me at this point, I felt like I might be difficult to live with. Not that he had anything to like worry about with me, but I did worry myself that I would be a bit of a burden on someone else. Like not even Jack specifically, but I just thought about, you know, ultimately when I would move in with someone, like I've thought about this for years, I would hate to be a burden on someone else because of just the way that I can be sometimes. Like I feel like when it comes to my work, I'm very much like, I need to do this now. Like I need to film and edit this now. And I feel very like when I have a burst of creativity, I need to act on it right away. And because I work out of my apartment and it's like a big part of my content, like that could ultimately burden someone else. Like if they, you know, want to have a relaxing night on the couch, but I'm like wanting to record a voiceover at a random time. So like I've gotten to be good at compromising / just, you know, he understands, he loves me. He knows that I am the way that I am, that I have these bursts of creativity and I do have these strange routines. Like I do have strange routines, strange like things that I do. And yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna get pretty real and honest in this video because I'm already admitting to you guys that I had like worries about moving in with Jack. I mean, it wasn't anything to worry about at all because it's been so amazing to live with someone that I love, that loves me, that knows everything about me, literally everything, like every good thing and bad thing, like the strange habits, the weird things that I do and whatever, and loves me for it. And we've lived so seamlessly together. Like we both have, you know, of course, made sacrifices to do so, like just certain things. Like, you know, he was living with his brother. He no longer lives with his brother because he lives with me. Like, and I now have to, you know, get good with having someone else around. Like there's just, when you move in with someone, when you combine your lives, you know, you're gonna have to make sacrifices. Is that the word? Or just be flexible. Be flexible. I think that's like the better way. And communicate a lot. And luckily we've been able to do it pretty seamlessly. Like knock on wood, sitting on a wooden staircase, easy. It's been great so far. And like, I just feel really good about it. And it's gonna be exciting to design our new space together. And I'm so excited to show you guys the new space. Anyway, to answer that, I guess, how did the moving in conversation come up? That was the second part of the question. I believe we talked about it at our favorite Mexican place. Like I'm pretty sure it first came up kind of like as a hypothetical, like if we were to move in together, and I'm pretty sure I was the one to bring it up. And then Jack was like very on board, very like positive about it. I was like, oh, okay, so we could do this. And then it like, we brought it up multiple times, kind of hypothetically speaking, and then it started to take shape. I don't think there was like one specific like conversation about it. It kind of just was over time. We started talking about things like finances and you know, we slowly kind of scraped the surface and got deeper into things that maybe like aren't easy to talk about, but like you need to talk about them if you want to be in a good relationship and understand the other person. And I can confidently say now we're at a good, like a spot where I really do know so much about him. He knows so much about me, and I'm really confident in what we are and like where we're going, which is like a really good feeling. I really feel like younger Katie would love to know that she could get to that place with someone, because I do feel like sometimes it can be hard for me to be vulnerable when I feel like it might burden someone else or make someone else feel weird, or like I never want anyone to feel uncomfortable around me. So I feel like sometimes it's been hard for me in the past to be super honest about things. So anyway, sorry if my voice sounds a little bit funny. It's because I'm a little bit under the weather, just a bit run down. I definitely need to get a good night's sleep tonight. I've been like burning from all ends. I don't know, like very, very busy, very stressed. But after the apartment move is over, I think I will finally be able to take a deep breath. So anyway, okay, so that's all about the move. The next question, this one like honestly cracked me up. Why are we seeing your ring hand, my ring hand, this is like verbatim, more than ever, and why manicures suddenly? So the people are probably wondering if I'm getting engaged, and that is the reason why I've been showing my hand and showing my nails, and I'm trying to like fool you guys or anything. And honestly, no, I just have started getting my nails done, and because of that, I'm excited to show off my manicures. And I'll like, you know, make a point to have my hand in the frame because I'm like, look at my nails, like my nails look good. And I hadn't like actually paid attention to my fingernails in like 3 years. So I'm excited about my nails right now because I've started doing this specific manicure that I get is called dip powder. But it is like, to people that don't know, like I truly did not understand all the terms for nails, like genuinely. I didn't realize there's so many different kinds of things you can get now. So this is dip powder, nail extensions, if you will. So like there is a fake part to the top, but this part is my real nail. It's like only the tip part is fake. Fake being like, I don't know if it's like acrylic or something, but like it's like a little hyperfixation. Like I'm now excited about getting my nails done. It's like a fun me thing. So naturally I've been showing my my hands a lot more than I ever used to. And I have this ring that I've worn this literally every day since I made it. Like I designed this ring with a jeweler 8 years ago. That's that. Like I've always worn it on this hand. I don't know. I just thought this was a funny question because it's clearly like, people are like, why are you showing your hands? Guys, it's not that deep. Like I just got my nails done. I felt like showing it off, like, you know? Anyway, number 4, okay, also hand related question. What does the tattoo on your finger symbolize? So I have this 3-dot tattoo on my right hand. Looks a bit more faint on camera than it actually is. It's actually still pretty dark. I got this 5 years ago now, and it was actually a stick and poke kit that my friends bought on Amazon. I don't recommend that. I feel like it could have gone really badly, but luckily it didn't. I was told, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I really thought this was temporary. I knew it wasn't like gonna go away in a week. I thought it would probably last for a few years and then eventually fade, but 5 years later, it is still, like I swear it got darker somehow. And I thought because it was on my finger, I always heard that finger tattoos fade quicker, but this one is still going very strong, and I'm not mad about it because it is a really cute tattoo. Like I think it's really cute. I don't have any other tattoos. The 3 dots of it all means my mom, my dad, and my sister, my immediate family members. I've definitely talked about this before, so pardon me if you guys are like, Katie, we know, but it is my only tattoo so far. Okay, so the next question is, do you still have design clients? Curious how your freelance life is. So for a while, like starting during COVID, I got very into my design side. I studied graphic design in college, so I've always had a knack for it. I started taking on clients like pretty heavily in 2020. Mind you, I'd quit my corporate job 2019, so that was kind of the start of me working for myself fully, and I was very excited about doing everything, like just trying everything, dipping my toe in every single pool because I just wanted to figure out what my thing was. And I really do love design. Like I love graphics. I like making graphics, tinkering around with things. Like that's why I love my Patreon wallpapers that I put out every month. Like I love experimenting with my hand lettering, like with my iPad, and like just doodling stuff and all of that. And video editing. I love video editing. And I've done that for clients like over the years. And I used to have like honestly 5 clients at a time that I would do like video editing for, and would probably work on like 3 or 4 videos a week for other people, not for my platforms and stuff. And it was really fun, but it was definitely a lot and taking a toll on me mentally. Like I feel like it was just, I was spreading myself too thin. So I started to slowly dial those back. And now I'm at one client, like I work with one client here and there. And then I've been kind of shifting my gears more towards design work, like creating design projects for people that are long-term, or no, that's the wrong way to say it. Not long-term, but like longer spanning projects in the sense that like they're not instantaneous. Like I just finished actually this wedding package. So I did invitations for this one person that reached out to me, and we started our project like 5 months ago and we just wrapped it. So when I say longer projects, I mean like not like, okay, I'm gonna make this thing for you. Like this project's gonna start this week and it's gonna be over next week. Like I like having time to perfect things with like working with someone else to perfect their project and make something beautiful for them that isn't like, we need this right now, we need this yesterday. And I've kind of realized that that's the creative environment that I thrive in. Like when I don't feel like I need things to be done super quickly. Like I'm assuming a lot of people feel that way, and that isn't always, you know, it's a luxury that isn't always a thing in creative projects. But when I can do that, I'll say yes, like if that makes sense. Like design work is definitely like my passion project, but it isn't the majority of my income and majority of my like brain power, but it is very fun. So I'm still doing it, to answer the question, but just not at the same capacity as before, because I'm also balancing the podcasts and all of the stuff I do on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, plus little side projects and things that I'm cooking up and all of that. So anyway, that is where we are. But if you guys want me to help you with your wedding invitation, just shoot me an email. Maybe we can make something happen. But you have to be not in a time crunch. That's pretty much where I'm at. Okay, question number 6, update on Found Objects podcast, ? So I did promise an update on this. I had this podcast, Found Objects. It was a history storytelling podcast, kind of a continuation or like a revamp of my previous podcast, Thick and Thin. Like I've honestly experimented with so many different podcast concepts over the years, I feel like, even ones that I haven't even executed. But Match Made, my podcast with my 2 friends, is safe. We are not stopping that podcast anytime soon. I love it. Found Objects, on the other hand, we went on hiatus. And I say we, it's myself and my researcher, Sarah. And that was fully my doing. I just wanted to pump the brakes and push pause pretty much for a second, because I just got to a point where I wasn't excited about the podcast. Like the content that was being produced, rather, wasn't my best work. Like I wasn't extremely proud of it, is where I'm going with this. Like I just didn't feel like I was putting out episodes because I wanted to be timely. Like I wanted to have a schedule. I wanted to post every week on the same day. And I kind of got to a point where I was putting out episodes I wasn't like super in love with, because I wanted to be consistent. And I think that that's from a place of like, I should have started earlier and then like pre-recorded stuff and like planning. Planning was not there that I should have had there, if that makes sense. But even the episodes that I did work on with my researcher, Sarah, and created the stories surrounding with her research that I loved, that I felt like I had a lot of time put into, the finished result just like something was up, like something was missing. And after some thinking, I realized I think it's the visual aspect that was missing. Like because it's a podcast, because it's audio driven, like audio focused, I felt like it just wasn't doing the stories justice that I was telling. Like I really feel like I need a visual component, but also that's so time consuming. Like the episodes themselves were already taking a lot of time to research, to produce, like to write, to then read and then edit and then promote. And it felt like it was a lot, and also very expensive, because I was, paying a full-time, she's part-time, but like I was paying a researcher to do a lot of work. And it ended up, I think all in all, and like the whole project, I invested about like $15,000. I was paying people to assist me, because it's a delicate thing to have a history podcast when you are not a historian. So I needed to work with professionals to get certain sources and like whatnot. So I felt confident about telling these stories. And then ultimately I'm like, this is expensive, it's time consuming, and I just didn't feel proud of it. Like ultimately I looked at it and I was like, that's not my best work. And I know I'm a perfectionist. This is really just a stream of consciousness. Like, again, we're sitting at a coffee shop and this is me telling you my thought process. So I want to bring it back, but maybe in a shorter format, like shorter stories, you know, not like someone's full life, like a person, like maybe a shorter tale, if you will, and visual. And I might, like, this is what I'm toying with. I might focus on New York City stories because I'm literally like boots on the ground here. So why don't I, not all of them, but like a lot of them maybe, or like a specific New York niche where I film, because I have so many things in my notes that I've just read and seen and thought about and noted that could become a video, could become a story, is a story that could become content that I just need to sit down and work on, flesh out. But I think shorter visual content would just, I would be prouder of that in a nutshell. I think that's it. TLDR, that's why we went on hiatus, and I don't know when we're coming back because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what the right choice is, you know? So anyway, also my researcher had a baby, so she's very busy being a mom. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted. That's how I feel about it right now. But I definitely want to continue to tell stories in some way, but it just needs to be something a little bit different, I think. Next question. What is the biggest thing you learned in 2024? And this was like a very broad question, but I did like it because I'm like, there's so many different ways I can go with this. 2024, what is the biggest thing I learned? And when I first read this question, my first thought, I feel like that's like what you gotta latch onto, like what's the first thing you think of when you read the question, was I got very good in 2024, or much better than I ever had before, at number one, saying no, realizing when something is like, needs to be done, needs to come to an end, like either a freelance client that I need to phase out because I'm spreading myself too thin, I don't have time for it, a project that I've just realized I've hit, you know, the end. Like it's just, I'm the end of the tunnel, it's over. Like, end of the tunnel, I think it's a positive thing. You know what I mean? Like the thing has run its course and it needs to be over. Like I've started to realize that better and know when I need to say no to someone's offer before I've even begun a project, because I know that I can't commit the way that they need me to. So I've gotten much better at that, better than I ever have been, because I'm such a people pleaser and I get very stressed out about making people unhappy, burdening people, making them, you know, have to look somewhere else for something that I know I could help them, but I just don't have the bandwidth. So like I should say no, but I could say yes and I could make it happen. You know, that was my inner monologue for much of my life, and it still is here and there. Like it's still not something I'm completely flawless at, but I've gotten so much better at knowing myself in that way and saying no when I can't do something, but also knowing that I don't need to reply to people right away. Like I feel like communication for me has been a struggle because I've always felt like I need to get back to people immediately. Like if someone texts me, I need to respond right away. Like I've never been someone that's like bad with my phone, because I'm like, well, I'm obviously on my phone all day for my work, like posting things and, you know, research and engaging with things. And so obviously I could answer their text. Why would I not? Or I could answer that email. Why would I not? Because there's a thing called protecting your peace sometimes. You don't, like not every text, email deserves an immediate response, or deserves is the wrong word because that's kind of like mean, but like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't need an immediate response. Like sometimes people are asking you a question just so they don't forget, and they don't need you to respond immediately. Like if they need an immediate response, they can call me, you know? So I've gotten much better at knowing like what deserves immediacy and what can wait, and I won't be hated, like the most hated woman on the earth, if I don't respond to this person's email right away. Like I've gotten much better at delayed responses, thinking through my answer to things, not needing to know right away, like that. Like honestly, just being able to take a breather and like think about things before I respond. Speaking of, I needed to grab some water before getting to the next question because I am parched. Okay, what is your next haircut? Short blunt cut was next level. Okay, next haircut. So I'm growing my hair out, if it wasn't already obvious. I believe it was, what month did I cut my hair? I think it was spring 2023. I had a bob up to here. It was a blunt bob and I loved it. I loved it. It was so cool. at the time, and I definitely could see myself doing that again. Like I'm not writing off doing the bob again, but I am having fun having longer hair and being able to style it differently. I definitely, at this point, next Thursday, I'm getting my haircut. I'm gonna do some shorter layers around my face, because right now, my shortest layer is like right here. Like it's like not short at all compared to like it's definitely, I have like long layers right now, and I really want like some shorter layers around my face. Nothing too crazy. I've been doing my grays at home with my Clairol little root touch up. But yeah, for the most part, embracing my natural color and such. And my hair has honestly been so shiny recently. Like I think it's my shampoo, but I don't know. I'm not hating on it. I like it. But yeah, we're gonna do some shorter layers, but overall just growing it out. And then maybe a blunt bob in my future, but not my immediate future. So question number 9. I'm answering 11 questions for you guys. It just like felt right, 11. What shows are you currently watching? My number 1 current obsession TV show is a show that aired so long ago. And by so long ago, I mean it like started, I think the first season came out in 2012. But for some reason, I never saw it. Like I haven't seen it until this year. It's taken me this long to discover it. And I don't know why. And I honestly blame you guys for not telling me about it sooner. I'm just kidding. Jack actually has seen it before, and he was like, oh, have you ever seen this show, Person of Interest? And I'm like, no, what is that? I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like it. Like, I feel like if I haven't seen it, if I don't know it exists, it's definitely not good. Like, why do I think that way? But it's about I don't want to give it away. Like if you like detective shows, if you like mysteries and New York City and things like that, it's not just like a police show, like a cop show. There's like some vigilantes, and it's about doing the right thing, but also like there's a deep web of like mafia and like stuff like that. But it's also like there are lighthearted moments. It can be funny, it can be sad. Like I've laughed, I've cried. It's a really good show. So definitely check it out. Person of Interest. I don't know what we're watching it on. I just Google, like search it on the TV and it pops up. I don't know what it is, but look it up, watch it, thank me later. DM me so we can talk about it, because I love this show. Anyway, yeah, so that's my like current hyperfixation. Like I watch it like every night. But also Pop Culture Jeopardy I've really been loving with Colin Jost. He is the host of, I believe it's the first ever Pop Culture Jeopardy. And I've heard mixed reviews. Some people have said they don't like it. I personally love it. And I am very into pop culture, so I like get involved. Like I genuinely feel like I could be on the show. Like I feel like I'm pretty good. Although I don't know if I would ever be on a show like that fast paced. I feel like it would really stress me out. But yeah, Pop Culture Jeopardy. I just started the new White Lotus, and I'm liking it. I know it's a slow burn so far, but I really do like it. And then that's it, I think, right now. I haven't started the new Love is Blind season. Let me know if you guys like it. I've heard it isn't great. I also don't know. Like I feel like I've heard some like biased things. But anyway, that is the answer to that question. Switching gears, number 10. What is your dream wedding? I don't really know exactly. Like I go back and forth on this, but one thing that I can agree with, like all versions of myself can agree with, every year I feel like I have a different idea of this, but we can all agree that I want an indoor ceremony. I do not want to stress about rain. I know some people have made the absolute most of their rainy weddings. I know it's good luck. I know it can be beautiful, and the photos always end up being gorgeous, and if you love someone, why does it matter if it rains? But I know myself, and I know that I want an indoor ceremony. Unless I like have an insane change of heart, I feel like I see myself getting married in like a library or some like very antique, beautiful space, like with maybe big windows. I don't know. I do see kind of like a castle vibe, like stone and wood and like a castle. Like in a perfect world, I would get married in a castle. Okay, that's my final answer. That's really all. I don't know, guys, honestly. It could really go any which way, as long as I'm happy and I feel like I am comfortable in the space, and like that's that. That is what I see for my wedding. Luckily, I have plenty of time. Okay, last question. This is number 11. Oh, my computer just went to sleep. What is something new that you would like to do this year? What is something new that I'd like to do this year? I feel like this is a hard one, and it's really hard because I feel like I've done so much. Like so many things that I never thought I would do at this age, like by this age. I've traveled so much more than I ever thought I would be able to, which is such a beautiful, like I'm very lucky. very lucky, but I'm also like, where do I want to go? I don't know. I think honestly, to answer this question, I feel like something that I've really wanted to do for a while that I just haven't been able to justify is having one like truly social media free weekend. Like I want to go to a remote, beautiful place with Jack or with a friend, with my sister, something like my mom, I don't know, someone. Like I don't want to be alone. I want to like have someone, at least to begin. Like maybe I'll eventually go alone on this type of adventure, but I feel like it'd be nice to have someone else there and just be without my phone, no social media, no photos. Like I can't even take a picture if I wanted to. I could take a mental picture, but it's just nice. It would be nice to like have no distractions, like digital distractions for a whole weekend and just read my books. Like that is what I would like to do this year. Like that is a new thing. I've never done that. I would like to do that. And I don't know if that sounds like sad, like that I haven't been able to be rid of my phone for a weekend, but like it's harder than it sounds, like because you need to be able to have contact with the outside world just in case something happens, right? Like, so I think I would need to get a flip phone. Like I would need to get a flip cell phone, like a cheapo flip phone with my phone number for like emergencies. If my mom needs to call me, she can, but like otherwise I am off the grid. Like that is what I think I would like to try this year. And that would be very good for me, I think. Unrelated, I want to start baking. I want to try to bake this year. And I've never really done that aside from like mix, like cake mix, brownies with mix. Like I want to like make a dessert from scratch. Like I want to make something like a pie, I don't know, from scratch. And that I would like to try this year. But also, you know what? If these things don't happen, it's okay. There's no pressure. That is also something I want to do this year. Like just be a bit gentler with myself and know that it is okay to not have it all figured out and things will take time, and that is that. But overall, I have to say, like I feel like I always look back at these Q&As like each year. I actually was just making a montage for something with old video clips for something that maybe you'll see. I feel like I'll show you guys. But anyway, I was like gathering clips from old videos for this montage. And so I really was going down memory lane of like what, you know, I was answering in Q&As in, 2016. And it's really remarkable how much you can tell about yourself, like looking back at old videos where you're answering questions about your current life, like what things you're comfortable talking about versus not, like what questions you're going to choose to answer and how you answer them. And like, I can confidently say that I am the happiest I've ever been, but everything is not perfect. Like there are still question marks, big question marks in my life, like where I'm going, different things I just don't know the answer to right now, but I am the happiest I've ever been despite of that, which is really interesting. Like I always felt like I'd be the happiest when I have all of the questions answered and I knew everything and I felt like I was in such a solid place in every corner of my life, but I don't feel like I am that way right now, and yet I am so happy. Like I have my moments, I have my days where I'm not, obviously, but I'd say for the most part, like I do feel very comfortable. Like my footing feels solid. Like I feel like I have a solid foundation and I can go so many different places from here, but at least I found like my solid footing, if that makes sense. And I feel really good in my relationships and in where I am right now, except for I won't be here for very much longer, but you know what I mean? Like I feel very confident with the choices that I've made recently, and I'd say that's a good feeling. And if you personally are not feeling that way, just know a lot can change in a year or 2 years. Like I definitely felt very insecure and like kind of unstable like a couple of years ago, and things have a way of really working themselves out, especially when you learn how to respect yourself. Which with, going back to that question that I answered, talking about the things that I've learned in 2024, like learning how to say no, learning how to use my time wisely, to, not respond to things right away, be able to take time and coming up with my answers and how I feel about things. Like that has really been a game changer for me, and my self-respect and knowing what I deserve from myself. Like, sometimes you don't realize when you are mistreating yourself most of all, like of everyone in your life, like you are not being respectful to yourself. So anyway, guys, that is my Q&A. I feel really good about these answers, and I hope hope you guys enjoyed this questionnaire, this little me chatting for however many minutes I've been chatting. Hopefully I've been able to edit this down because right now I'm looking at a scary number on the screen. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you all so much. And I'll be back next week with a vlog, I promise, with hopefully the new apartment. I don't want to like promise that aspect because I don't know. Obviously, I'm hoping things go as planned with the keys, but of course life has a funny way of kind of being crazy sometimes, so who knows. But I'm very excited to show you guys the new space. Like I just know you guys are gonna be, you guys are gonna be like, yeah, okay, I get it. I get what your vision was, and it's working, because I know it was like funny, like us saying like, we want a modern apartment. No, we want a charming apartment. No, we want a good mix of both. And it's like, does that even exist? And my friends, let me tell you, it does. It does. Anyway, okay, that is it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I need to chug water. My goodness, I'm just feeling like run down, like I'm just tired. So I need to hydrate and get a good night's sleep, as do all of you. Again, respecting ourselves, right? So thank you all for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys all next week. Bye.